So hey y'all, I am back with a new segment, I guess you can say. I don't even know what I'm gonna call this yet. This is basically like, instead of a trauma chats, this is probably like candid chats or the trauma chat room or a dear diary or whatever. So you guys know, I've complained about YouTube and the platform and how it's just not fun for me anymore like it used to be. And I feel like I can't be expressive and creative. I also see a lot of like celebrities or people in the media, influencers who have made similar comments to say like social media, my bad, to say that social media used to be fun, how you could kind of just joke around, you could be sarcastic, you could say all these different things without people literally trying to make think pieces out of everything you say. And it's kind of slightly hypocritical or ironic because I make think pieces out of the things that people say, but I don't think it's done with the intent to like harm, shame, or make somebody feel bad about themselves unless they did something that is like nefarious, like maybe P. Diddy or old tweets that come up of people, things like that. But I don't know. I just wanted to have like a candid conversation. I don't know where I'm going with this, y'all. I have no notes. I have no script, no nothing. But I'm going to also be doing my makeup because I'm like, people have been asking me for my makeup routine and things like that. So this is me barefaced. Yes, I do have my eyebrows already done because it just takes too long and I can't look and talk while I do my eyebrows. It just has to be boom, boom, boom. I didn't fade them in the center yet. I'll wait. And I do have lash extensions. Shout out to my lash tech here in Atlanta. She's based in Decatur, Georgia. Her Instagram is Lashanova. Shout out to my girl. She did a wonderful job. I have like curly lashes, like 4C lashes, if you will, or I guess they call them DD, triple D, double D, something like that. And my lashes, I could never get lash extensions because I could never find a lash tech that could make them look natural, not too bulky, still give me like, you know, that cat eye look, but also give me spaces in between my lashes because I don't like just a whole bunch of lashes on my eyes. Like I have big eyes and they're kind of beady. Okay, so nobody wants to just have lashes. And every lash tech I would go to, they would always just put a whole bunch of lashes like in every single corner, like give me no variation of anything. But I found someone who I like and I will definitely be going back to her. And I also will have a feature of her in one of my upcoming videos, as well as the stylist that did my braids. These are boho braids with boho ends. Love my hair, love my lashes, and I'll also have a feature for my hairstylist. Her name is Ebony and her Instagram is EBK Hair. Love it, love it, love it. Someone even asked for a tutorial on how I do my ponytail. I can do that, or was it the bun? I'll do that eventually, but let me just talk. So I don't know. I just feel like YouTube is not like a fun experience for me like it used to be. I'm using the Clinique foundation. This is WN118 Amber. We're entering into the fall. My skin shade is going to be changing. I already know what's coming. But my summer shade that I had been using, I was using the House Labs. This is in the shade Medium Deep Cool 470. I found this shade to be very, it was pretty good. I feel like I might be a little bit more warmer than it, but to be honest, it was a good shade for me for the most part. But I do think I like to have more of like a darker foundation and then I brighten it up with the highlighter and stuff. But I'll probably just do a little dollop of this. But my main shade that I usually use, hold on 1 second, my man is calling. Hello. Okay. But yeah, I know my shade is literally in the midst of changing and I just smeared this. So I'm just gonna do a mix of both because in the next month or so, I'm probably just gonna have to go with one shade. Y'all know who it is, but to be a black girl, I swear it's so different. I mean, everybody's skin shade can change, but I feel like for black girls, like we change a lot. And I like to use a little stippling brush to stipple it out. And then we're gonna go to work. So this is it here. We're just going to blend it in. And I definitely still have primer down here. Just ignore that. It's going to get blended and blended to my neck. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like YouTube is just not that fun. And the reason why I've been kind of complaining a lot is for no other reason other than the fact that the money factor doesn't make any sense to me. Like I have not been the most consistent because my life has been lifing. As y'all know, I just did a pageant and that took up months of my life. And I'm so grateful for the experience and also very grateful to take home a title. Like I was not expecting to win. I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy that I got the experience because it made me realize what's more important for me at this stage in my life, which is being impactful in ways outside of this platform. from. Of course, I'm grateful for YouTube. It's where people know me from. It's where I got my start. It's how people have connected with me for over a decade. Hold on, he's calling back again. Okay, sorry y'all, that was like a break. But of course, I'm grateful for YouTube because it's where people know me. And I've been on here for a while. But one thing the pageant did make me realize is that there's a multitude of ways to be impactful. And I feel like I am impactful on YouTube in a certain space, but there's so much more that I want to do. Like, I started off doing beauty, hence why I'm doing my makeup. Then I transitioned into like beauty slash vlogs. Then I did like beauty slash vlog slash girl talk. Then it was beauty slash vlog slash girl talk that transitioned into commentary, and I stuck with commentary. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I think my foundation dried while I was waiting and talking to me. Re-up. I wish I never took away the beauty aspect. Like, I really feel like I'm a super baddie. So, you know, I like the fact that I can be creative. Like, I was always doing hair. I was getting sponsorships for that. I haven't done a hair sponsorship in years. It's like they don't even want to work with me anymore because other people are more hyper fixated on the hair aspect, and I just stopped doing it. When it comes to makeup, when it comes to hair, when it comes to just being creative, like, I was always about that. Like, all through high school, if you knew me, it was always about what I was wearing, what lipstick color, all these different things. It was always about that. So like the fact that I kind of like let go of some aspects that are really important to me, like I'm like the ultimate girly girl. I care about looking good, speaking well, being impactful, being a philanthropist in certain ways, things like that. And the pageant kind of gave me like this resurgence of, remember when you had this like full package aspect of yourself? Remember when you showed up looking good, hair, makeup, everything? So lately, throughout this last like few months, I've gotten back on camera. I bought a new camera this summer. I was like, I want to film the majority of my videos back on camera because that is exactly who I was. Like in the beginning, I was like, I hate podcasts. Like when I used to click on people's videos and it was a podcast, I would literally X out back in the day. And I know podcasts are a little bit like more popular these days. I like to be on camera. Like I feel like I like to edit, see my face. It's actually even easier to edit a video on camera. Now, quick side note, makeup wise, do y'all match y'all foundation to your neck or to your chest? Like, where do you match your foundation? Because I feel like my face is like, I have such big features and like everything in my face sticks out, that the next part about me that sticks out is my chest. So I feel like I try to match it to chest and not as much my neck. You know, I know people are different. So what do y'all do? Let me know. But yeah, going back to even that money aspect, I got a cash prize. I won $2,500 to be in this pageant. And the pageant was, you know, beauty. It was about beauty, of course. It's a beauty pageant, but it was also about your poise, your confidence, how well spoken you are. It was about all these different things. And different things. That's the inside joke between me and my pageant sisters. Different things. But it was about all these different things. And it made me remember that there's so much more than just sitting behind the camera and talking about some of these topics that deep down inside don't really matter to me. Like, do you guys think I wake up and I care about celebrities? No, like I don't. There's so many other things that matter that we deal with as women. Of course, I cover those topics on YouTube, but I just loved the experience. Like when I got there, it was hectic. Don't get me wrong. There was a lot of things I didn't like. But overall, I'm like, I love the experience of being able to wake up. We worked out. We also ate breakfast. It was about health. It was about fitness. It was about women empowerment. It was about sisterhood. It was about all of our passion projects, or what we call pet projects, which mine was obviously advocating for women's voices through my platform that I'm going to be cultivating called Diaspora Diaries. It was also about, you know, hair, makeup. I remember at breakfast in the morning, I sat next to my girls, Buki, Chica, and Josephine, and we talked about this lace glue or this foundation or this primer. Like I got a lot of beauty tips just from this 1 week of camp. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what? I love this beauty pageant world because yes, surface level people may think it's just about how pretty you are and whatnot. But if you're in pageants, you have to be so well-rounded. And I feel like I never knew that this was even my calling. Like I never knew that for everything that I stand for and the things that I care about outside of, you know, celebrity news and drama, that the pageantry world is literally everything Queen Chama's platform is, just in an industry. So it's something I really want to dive into. So kind of circling back to YouTube, and like I said about the money aspect, if I just won $2,500 which is obviously a payment. I mean, it's not just for you to keep and use, it's for you to, it's a reward, you know, it's a stipend, so you can use it. But it's also to kind of further the platform that I have with what I want to do, that I was advocating for everything I already do. That's almost kind of like a sponsorship. Like, I get companies that pay me money to promote this or that or whatever. But imagine if I was able to continuously do this and get sponsors to kind of push the platform that I really want to have, that isn't just based in celebrity news and gossip and tea and blah, 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 blah. I know I take it to a different level where it's not just about kikiing, but like to a certain extent, we like to laugh and talk. So I'm like, I really want to expand my horizons. And when I looked at like the payoff for YouTube, I'll be very transparent. Y'all know I'm honest and I'm always transparent. But my like last 2 YouTube checks, and I can't say that I was being full-time at all because in all honesty, I was away, so I wasn't being consistent. But my last 2 YouTube checks, pretty much, let's just say the money that I won at the pageant is about the same price, if not more, than my last 2 YouTube checks. And again, I was not posting for real, but I'm just talking about YouTube. So when I put that into perspective, and I'm like, if I just won more money at a pageant than YouTube, my job that I actually put all this time and effort into, pays me for a month. And of course, again, not full time, but just when I'm at my bare minimum, I can do so much more. I can connect with so many other organizations, so many other brands. I can really use myself and this new title to really push myself even more than maybe what I can do on YouTube. And it just all fell into my head of, okay, like, you need to kind of change gears here. And I had been doing this prior. I remember I had that live stream this summer where I kind of like broke down. I'm like, I feel so lonely. I feel so confused. I kind of feel betrayed. I kind of feel like I betrayed myself because I don't know what to do just yet. I haven't been networking. I haven't been connecting. I don't know where to go. I'm in a new city. Like, what should I do next? Like, what do I even do here when it comes to moving? And now that this pageant has come and gone, and I've made a few pageant sisters that live here in Atlanta as well, which is so great. We're actually going to be doing something this weekend. I kind of realized, like, okay, that was just the storm. Now we're seeing, you know, the rainbows after the storm. Now we're seeing that there's so much more to do. Like, you don't have to box yourself into YouTube, because YouTube does not care about me, period. Like, I literally have wrote YouTube, emailed, chatted, whatever, with YouTube so many times to tell them, like, hey, how can I be an employee essentially, or independent contractor on your platform for years, and still not receive the viewership that I feel like I deserve, still not receive, you know, or maybe I received the viewership and I peaked essentially, and then now I'm kind of on a lower end. No matter what I do, no matter if I change everything that everyone has asked me to do, like, I have opened up the floor for people to tell me, oh, Chama, well, your channel comes off messy, or you say things about other people. Who wants to sponsor that? People, the sponsors are sponsoring. Like, I make more in sponsors than YouTube. That's flat out. Trust and believe. Oh, like, maybe you should take a different approach. Like, maybe you should talk about these other topics. I've touched on other topics outside of celebrity news, and those topics don't do as well as the celebrity stuff. So no, that's not the case. Like, y'all may suggest that, but what people actually want to see or what's get pushed is not that. So I just had to be like real with myself and have a conversation and say, you're going to take this new title that God bless you with, that you worked so hard for, that you're just now realizing at the age of 28 that this is actually kind of your lane, and you're going to really, really go hard with it. And if that opens up other doors, maybe that'll be the key to open a door that isn't here. Because as much as I love the platform that I've built, and I will always use it to a certain degree, it's just not the highest priority for me anymore. And I don't like saying that because I feel like power of the tongue is real, and I don't want God to hear this and be like, oh, that's what you think that, Chama? Okay, I'm gonna remove this. No, that's not what it is. It's just I'm realizing that I have so many other talents and passions that as I age, it's just I'm kind of aging out of certain stuff. Like, it's frustrating to me to post something and then see people like completely twist your words, or post something and see people like make up a narrative that wasn't there, or post something and people do agree with you and you're like, okay, this should be a really good conversation, and this is really empowering for women. This is a good conversation to have for Black women, and then to see it not even get in front of the eyes of people that are subscribed to me. And a lot of times it's not my subscribers' fault. Hold on, let me get my baking powder. As always, I am baking with the Ben Nye Topaz. The only reason that I have not like changed to something else, because I'm sure there's stuff that's out there that's better, is because I bought this and was halfway here and I've been using it for years, and I'm not gonna stop using it until it runs out. Then I'll try a different product. But for right now, this is what I always use. Yeah, one time someone told me like, how are you still using Ben Nye? There's other products. If it's not broken, do not fix it. This works for me. So if you're gonna compliment makeup, I'm just showing y'all what I use. But yeah, I'll keep using it. Let's go ahead and bake. Let me see, do I have a mirror or something? I have a mirror right here, but it's kind of like far. All right, so yeah, so it's just kind of like eye-opening to see like just other things I can do with this platform. Like I've already been on here for almost 11 years on YouTube. December will make it 11 years that I've been on YouTube. A lot of people change jobs and they'll be at a job for 5 years, 7 years, but some people do be at jobs for 15, 20, 30 years. And it's not that I even want to quit YouTube. I think like when I say like I won't be on here eventually one day, what I'm saying is one day I'm gonna find something I'm just more passionate about, that I feel like the payoff is worth it, and that's where my focus will be, because that's just life. Like I'm just growing up and realizing like you don't have to stay in one place forever. You can literally move around and do other things. Like that's literally what the journey of life is supposed to be, is what I'm realizing. Like it's not just stay in one place and be stagnant. No, you can move around and do other stuff. So that's just kind of like how I see it. And I think this pageant experience really opened up my eyes to be like, oh, like there's so much more that you can do, Chama. Like I wish I was doing pageants when I was younger. Like I'm definitely, if my daughter is a girly girl like her mama, if she, I don't have any kids, but if she's gonna be a girly girl, I'm definitely gonna put her in pageants, because it's not just about the beauty aspect. I'm not talking toddlers and tiaras. I'm talking like to be around women for just a week that you've only been meeting on Zoom once a week for a few months, and then finally get to be there and be so supported, so loved, so just felt seen, and everybody got to kind of like position themselves in their best light, but also be vulnerable at times as well. I think this has been the experience that I needed. Like I needed this. I wasn't gonna do it too. That's the crazy part. I saw the Miss Diaspora Nigeria USA platform the first year that it came out, and I was like, oh, okay, this is nice. You know, I always thought about pageants. I just didn't think I was a pageant girl, because I had to build that confidence. So the second year I was like, oh, okay, I want to get involved. Let me kind of do something on the back end, like with my YouTube, like hosting or, you know, red carpet, judge, something. And that's what I talked about with them behind the scenes. But I don't know, it just didn't amount to anything. I kind of forget whatever happened, if anything. And then this time, this third year that they did it, I was like, you know what? I've been seeing them for the last 2 years. Everything looks like something that I may need. I just moved to a new city. I think I sent the application before I even got approved to move down here to Atlanta. And then when I got to Atlanta, it was like, okay, audition. So I did the audition. It was like my first week living here, did the audition, which was a very long process. And then after doing the audition, the following weekend, I got the, you know, you've made it as a finalist email. So I was like, okay, let's go for it. Let's just see. The whole process, I'm not thinking like I'm gonna win, because there were so many girls that are like, I have sickle cell awareness, or I'm doing end hunger here, or I'm doing STEM in this way, or I'm teaching people how to garden. And I'm like, well, I'm a YouTuber and I talk for a living. Like I'm doubting myself. Let me do this eyeliner. But I'm doubting myself. Like my platform is like within the arts. I'm a podcaster. Like that's my thing. I don't think I measure up to some of these things that are kind of deemed more important. But we did have a conversation with the queen that won last year, Queen Oyamin, shout out to her. And she talked about how, you know, all of these things are important. As much as it's important for people to eat or to have support in their STEM or healthcare awareness, it's also important for people to feel like they can express themselves through art, through music, through modeling, which is my forte. So I felt way more empowered after she came and talked to us, because I was feeling like, who cares about talking? But that's my whole thing, is amplifying the voices of people, especially women, and especially Black women, because it's always been like Black women are silenced. We are told to shut up, especially in Nigerian culture. It's almost like women do not have a voice at all. We're not awarded certain privileges. We don't get things that are passed down because we're just women. That's exactly how it is. So I was reminded through this experience like how much my voice actually matters, and how much my platform has been really, really important, like really important overall to many women. There's people that email me like, Charm, I've been watching you for years. Like, thank you for the conversations that you've had. And I get why y'all say that, because when I watch other creators, I feel the same way about their platforms. I'm like, when I've watched Lovely T, when I've watched Eloho, when I've watched Chrissy, when I've watched Tony Brienne, when I've watched Mayoa's World, when I've watched, who comes to mind? The Mademoiselle, that's my girl Ivana. When I've watched even Trace TV, when I've watched all of these people and I hear what they have to say, I'm like, these conversations are so important, because you remember the words that people tell you, and maybe not everything they say, but one or two things they say may stick out to you, and that stays in your mind. Being able to speak and amplify voices are important. So there's just new things that I want to do now that I have this title. There's so many other platforms that I want to reach. I'm looking to reach out to not just Nigerian, of course, this is a Nigerian platform, so that's kind of the priority, but just any organization. I don't care if you're here in Atlanta and you're a high school teacher, middle school teacher, and you want me to come speak to a group of women, a group of girls. Maybe you have a women's group, maybe you work at a shelter, whatever it may be, I will do it all. Like, this is a service position more than anything. So in terms of compensation, like, of course, if you have it, give if you can, but if you don't, at the end of the day, my service is more about my passion project. I don't necessarily need anything in return other than the fact that I've impacted people, because I feel like if I put my feet on the ground, literally put my boots on the ground, and I get in my community, whether it's here in Atlanta or I have to travel here or there, whatever, that's what makes me feel the best. You know, I've always felt fulfilled when I can impact people and see the impact of it. The politics of YouTube is that since there's money involved, since you pay taxes, since there's, you know, it's a job, and since people always are going to give their unsolicited opinions because we're just having a conversation, it gets annoying. I'm gonna be real. It gets frustrating. It gets draining. You know, I've been drained these last few days because of one comment that I made. I'm like, how could this comment cause all of this? So I'm like, okay, let's step away from that, delete, and let's just focus on the fact that you're a queen. Like, you really got a title, you really got money. And people talk about whether you have a big pageant, a little pageant, it doesn't matter. If you're doing the work of service and the work of God, honestly, it doesn't matter how small or big your platform is. And I had to realize that over this process. Let me do a little bit of eyeliner, just a little bit of tight lining. It's kind of hard to do with the lash extension, so I kind of don't put, obviously I don't put mascara, I don't put any of that stuff, but let me go ahead and contour as well. I just want a light contour. I've been just going down on contour for real, because I don't know, the heavy contour, I just don't care for it as much unless I'm doing like a nighttime dramatic look. But for filming and going out, I'm going out with my boyfriend and his parents tonight. I just like to be a little bit fresher, you know what I'm saying? So just a little light contour, bring it up in here around the edges and stuff. And I've learned to brush up. I have a very like animated face with very big cheeks. So I don't want to make my cheeks even bigger than they have to be. I don't want to look like a blowfish clown. I just want to look like, you know, just a little bit enhanced. So bringing that all around here. What do y'all think of the makeup thus far? So yeah, that's pretty much like how I've been feeling. I also have said that I kind of feel a bit like washed up on the platform. Like, I feel like there's people that have surpassed me, that YouTube just favors a little bit more than me. And maybe that's just an indication that move on, you know, still do this, but focus on other things. I'm also starting Queen Team Models. Y'all know I love to shamelessly plug my modeling company. It's no longer an agency because I'm not an agent. I don't have the same connects that other people have, and I'm gonna be honest about that. This is a modeling sisterhood. I think being in this pageant also had me kind of redefine what I want to do in my business, which is more or less just cultivate a space for female models in this area or wherever we go to just help each other out, you know, give each other resources, give each other strength, give each other encouragement, but also impact our communities, but also have that performing arts aspect. I know people would always talk like, Chama, why do the uniforms look like cheerleaders? I grew up a cheerleader. I feel like performing arts is important. I feel like models don't just have to be high fashion. There are so many different genres of modeling. So that's another thing that I'm about to launch. We just had like application decisions go out. If I need more models, I might open it up again, but we're gonna have our first orientation in the next like 3 weeks. So you would have to get your application in like ASAP if you're still interested. But I tell people all the time, I don't play about Queen Team Models. So if you're not what I'm looking for, just be real. I'm not gonna even bother. Like, you gotta look at the page and see, do I fit into this? But we are doing like a crazy advancement. Literally, what I'm doing now with QTM is not what I was doing before. I feel like before it was more like an experiment to a certain degree, where it was like, okay, we're gonna do all these things and have creative shoots, but it's more of just the creative side, which is fine. Now I'm like, look, these girls need to be like pick of the litter, and I'm not talking about looks, okay? I'm talking about your credentials. I think every girl that we've selected now, I think I have 9 of us plus I'm 10, because the difference I'm doing now is I'm gonna be a teammate versus just a director. It's gonna be a little bit difficult to see how I'm gonna do both, but I've seen it be done, and I think they'll make the experience better for me and the ladies to be a teammate as well as a leader versus just being with the director hat, because that was a lot of stress on me. So as a teammate, it's going to show that everybody needs to contribute versus it just falling on me. But of course, it's my business, so I can have the overall say so. So right now, I'm the 10th person, and I think that's a good number to just start with, like just 10 girls, including myself. I might do maybe 2 more, depending, but the credentials of the ladies at this point is like everybody is a degree holder. Everyone has done something kind of like extraordinary. Like, one girl has done pageants, which was, you know, stand out to me. Another girl is like a speech language pathologist. I have one girl that's like from the British Virgin Islands, but literally has been living here for a while, and she also is like very, like, everybody I looked at, I'm like, okay, so if we're gonna change the look of this business to make it look more official, the girls need to be official. I'm not saying you have to have a college degree, but I'm just saying, like, you gotta come with something other than, hey, I do hair, nail, and lashes. Well, this is Atlanta. Everybody does hair, nail, and lashes. So it's like, I want to see other things that people are involved in that are actually assets to the business versus it just being like, oh yeah, like I do this and that. Like, you got to stand out. So I was really focused on that this time around, and I learned a lot from being in Toledo, Ohio, on what I want for my business and what I don't want. I think Toledo was just like, I could only get certain options because of the type of city it was in, and that's not a shade or dig to anybody, because I feel like the girls that I'm still cool with are the cream of the crop for me. I love them all, and we're going to be doing like a reunion because I'm going to finally launch my new uniforms that I've been working on. I finally went and found a supplier that can make them exactly how I want, with good quality material and everything, and the gold glitter boots. I don't care what nobody says about the uniform. Right now, yes, they don't look like models, it's childish, look like cheerleaders, I don't care. Okay, in the next 2 years, when everyone says, oh, I can recognize that's the Queen T Models brand, then it's going to be like, oh, okay, I like that. I like seeing those girls. And again, pink and gold, pink and yellow are actually the 2 complementary colors of women of color, specifically Black women. And they just so happen to be my favorite colors. But yeah, like this time around, I feel like what I'm picking is more suitable for a business that can stand on its own. And I even raised the age. You have to be at least 21. I'm not dealing with any more 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds. I am so sorry. I am so sorry, y'all. But literally, there was like a common thing. It was like all the girls that have been 19, either when they joined or they turned 19 at a certain point, they always had the most problems. Like, I kind of went back and I looked, I said, something about being 19. And then when I thought about me being 19, that's when I made the worst mistakes of my entire life, was when I was 19. So I'm like, all right, let's just raise the age. I think we have one girl that's 21. Most of the girls are actually over 25. We have a few girls that are 30 plus. So I'm looking for a more mature group this time around. Of course, you know, being 21, you're still mature, but I just am looking for older range. So I have their age range 21 to 35, and I'm open to the women that are 34, 35. I'm open. I don't think that it should stop just because you're in your 30s. Like, I think that's crazy. So that's one thing I feel like stands out for me, because for a lot of high fashion runway models that y'all are going to try and compare this to, their careers don't go to 30. Okay, after 20 something in the high fashion runway model world, you're told like you're washed up. Trust me, they want to get you when you're 12, 14, 15. That's when they want to get you. So by the time you've done it for 5 years, they tell you like, yeah, this is over. Like, we're going to get from a younger pool. And I know this because I've researched the modeling industry since I was a kid, because I always wanted to be a model. And yeah, that's just kind of like how it always is. So for me, I'm doing things differently, and I'm not going to make any excuses for it. I'm not going to apologize for the uniforms. I'm not going to apologize for the type of candid candidates. I'm being smarter about it. I've heard all of the things that people have said over the years. Even here on YouTube, you guys are so honest with me to the point where it hurt my feelings about queen team models. It's like people online, when it comes to me, you can't hurt my feelings with almost anything people say on here. I might like go back and forth with you, but you didn't really hurt my feelings. But when you talk about queen team models, oh, that's how you know. That's pretty much the update about me and how I feel about YouTube. The last few things I'm going to do is, again, lip liner and then under eye mascara, and that's kind of literally my makeup. I, over the years, just stopped doing, I don't know, my makeup has gotten so much faster the older I've gotten. I don't know if it's because I'm doing less, or I don't know if it's because I'm just better at it, or I just don't do as much. I found a lot of beauty in just how I look. I feel like I have a very distinct look that is, whoa, that just broke out of my hand. Okay, wow. I don't know, I just feel like I have a very distinct look with the features, because I know my features are huge. It's really my eyes. Like, people always say like, Chama, your eyes are so huge, and this, I'm just like, are they really that big? And I look at myself, my boyfriend has like the smallest eyes ever, and I have so large eyes, so like we always joke about it. But let me do the little lip liner. So lip liner is just the Ruby Kisses in dark brown. I always use this. And then I have this one. What is this? This is the LA Colors in rose brown. I'm only going to put this a little bit on top just so this is not as dark. And I can't really see myself via the camera. I can only look here. So hopefully not only am I focused, but hopefully all of this looks blended, because I'm just going to put this like not on top of it, but in front of it. And then I think I have my gloss here. I do. Oh, that actually looks good. And I always use the Ruby Kisses lip oil. All my stuff really is from the beauty supply store. Mine is foundation. Foundation is the one thing like I will always spend money on. And I guess setting spray and my highlighter, which is the Lancome in 405 warm. So this one is like pretty light, but I use this underneath my eyebrows. If you use your highlighter for your eyebrow under eye carving, which I only do the under, I don't even do the over anymore. I feel like that's kind of played out. That's kind of how I match it. All right, so that needs a little bit more blending, but also my nose does as well. But let's do another bake. What you want to do as a makeup tip is when you do your under eye mascara, which a lot of people always ask me, do I wear under eye extensions? No, but bake and then do your under eye mascara. Trust me, okay? Bake and do your under eye mascara, because if it messes up a little bit and you smear it, you can literally wipe it off from your under eye bake, literally. So just do it under eye, and then let's get my mascara, which again is from beauty supply store. It's the Nicka K Mighty Lash with the little spike ball. I've been using this for years. I'm never giving up on this. Honestly, Ruby Kisses and Nicka K, I've been using y'all since high school. That's where I need to find a sponsorship at. I'm gonna find their contact information and see what they talking about. But yeah, in the long run, you guys, overall, I've kind of found the purpose that I had been looking for. I know this summer I was like really confused, like moving to a big city. Like I wasn't even homesick. Like I wasn't going back to Ohio. It was just like I needed to figure out how to make everything work. People were like saying like, oh, this is normal. And I'm like, you are right. This was normal to kind of feel out of place when you enter a new city, because after a certain point you realize, hey, I'm not going home. This is what I decided to do. Start to think like, okay, you have to make this work. And even though I still feel like, okay, how are all these people going to these events? And they know all of these events and I never know these events. And I'm like, give yourself a break. Like you've been here 6 months, if that. You'll find your way, like you'll find the people. That's why I'm actually really excited to start Queen Team Models again, because I feel like with this sisterhood aspect of it, where I'm pushing like, this is a team, this is a sisterhood, this is not an agency. You know, you're not coming here for me to pitch you to other brands. Of course, I have a lot of connections and I will do that, but that's not the main focus. The main focus is for us to be a group of women who want to support each other through the talent and the art of modeling, but also sisterhood, community service, because those things are always very important to me. So yeah, even during the pageant, we did community service. That was our first thing that we did. And I felt like so empowered afterwards just to help the community in Chicago. You know, we did a food drive, we gave people food, and it was just really, really, really like inspiring. I don't know, you always feel good when you help others, I swear to you. So if you're just looking for something to do one day, if you're really that bored, literally just go volunteer at your local food pantry or something. Like, that is my suggestion. But again, if you are in any type of like organization, especially here in Atlanta, and if it does not have to be African or Nigerian, but of course that's where they want us to focus, but if you're in that, you need me in any way, shape, or form, please call me, please DM me, email me, whatever, however, get in contact with me. I will definitely be there. And most of it, yeah, this is pro bono work. That's what you do as a pageant queen. This is my calling, and I feel like after all of that, I basically found where I wanted to be. Didn't I put this on Do Not Disturb? So just to kind of end off, because I'm almost done here, but this may just be kind of like, you know, just some motivation to anybody that if you haven't truly found your purpose, or you're, you know, confused with your career, your job, or what your calling is, God will show you. God will really show you, because y'all remember that live, like literally back in July, I was like literally going through it. I was maybe 3 months into living here, and I just started being so confused about what my purpose was, and like coming down here and what was going to happen and all these different things. So always got to draw that mold back on. So important. So yeah, I just kind of feel like it kind of worked out. Like, it's working out. It's always going to be in God's time, never in yours, you know, and that's kind of hard sometimes, because you want things when you want them. That's a human thing to feel, but just stay focused on what really matters. I'm starting to realize some of the things that YouTube is bringing me, the discomfort, financial foolishness, just some of the frustrations, even some of the distasteful comments, like that is not for me. That is not what God has in store for me. That is not what anybody has in store for me. I've never, ever been that type of person to like want that a part of my life. Some people live for drama. Some people live for, you know, hardship. Some people just love that. Trust me, I've met people who are like, they really strive off of always having an issue. I've met people tell me that they really love drama. That is not for me. That is not me. I am not the drama. Okay, Cardi B, you may be the drama, but it's not me, girl. It's definitely not me. And I just kind of feel like eventually things will work out. And I have such a good feeling, like such a really good feeling. I need another brush. But yeah, I just have such a good feeling about what I was just able to accomplish. I just want y'all to know that, like, for me personally, I would have never thought that when I started the pageant journey that it was going to end up here. I also would have never guessed that once I decided to move to Atlanta, that I would be already getting interest in my business. So I sometimes have to remember, like, give yourself credit for what you've already done, the qualities that you possess, the talent that you have, the passions that you're passionate about. Like, give yourself credit for that. Give yourself credit. When I was making my video for the promotion of the new QTM here in Atlanta, I was looking at so much old footage of myself and also with Queen Team Models, and I'm like, Chama, give yourself credit. Like, you did all of this really by yourself. For the most part, this was all funded by you. This was all like your own ideas, your own creativity. Things definitely went left. Things did not always pan out how they were supposed to be. There was a lot of foolishness, yes, but that's every single business. There's always gonna be that. Like, people think that you go into business and it just is peachy keen. No, it will never be that. It will be more foolishness than a peace. I'll tell you that. But you have to find the peace yourself. So part of that for me was leaving Ohio. I was getting too stressed. I was breaking down. I was not happy there, and a little bit of highliner. I was just not happy. But this move has also been, you know, important for me. I remember even when I was trying to move to Atlanta, I was gonna do it at the end of last year, the end of 2024. And I tried to apply for my apartment, and there was just a whole bunch of stuff going on until I'm like, I kind of gave up on it. And then I got a call like, hey, you actually have been approved. And I'm like, what? I literally got approved like maybe 2-3 weeks before I moved here. And I had already kind of said, okay, we'll just wait. We'll just see what happens. Let me keep working. And again, God's timing. So that's pretty much all I have for y'all. Let me blend this lip liner just a little bit more, but I just wanted to give y'all an update on where my mind is. Overall, I just want people to know that if you really, really like, just focus on the things that really matter in life and not what other people have to say, or other people trying to put you down, or other people trying to make you feel crazy for the things that you believe in, for anything, like, it'll work out. People will be like, oh, how you gonna have a modeling agency and you don't have nobody to do this or that or blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, but it's still up and running. Like, I can still run it. Just go for it. Even as far as this pageant, like, I doubted myself and it worked out for me. This move to Atlanta, I doubted the timing. I didn't think it was gonna happen. I was getting frustrated, like, but it eventually worked out. So I don't know, trust God. Trust God a lot, but also don't forget to trust yourself. A lot of y'all have all the qualities needed to do everything you want. I am not a success story because everything was always handed to me and everything just worked out how it was supposed to. No, this is years of work. I've honestly been putting a lot of pressure on myself to say, okay, you're gonna be 30 in 2 years. Like, you need to do all these things before then. Whole time though, I feel like this year of 27, of being 27 into 28 has been the year for me. And I kept telling my boyfriend last year, I'm like, I feel like 27 is gonna be the year that it just all works out, and or just something else starts. Like, I don't know. And I don't know, I had a feeling. I promise you I had a feeling, and now we're here. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. This is pretty much almost like an hour, I guess. It's a long video. I'm gonna go ahead and start filming soon. Let me blend this foundation kind of into my hairline a little bit. I kind of don't like to do it, but I don't want that line of demarcation. But this is pretty much the final look. I can't really see y'all, I'm sorry. But yeah, this is the final look. I hope you guys like this. This is my usual look. I just kind of do foundation, highlight, a little bit of contour. Love me the bottom lashes because my eyes are so expressive. Obviously my eyebrows will always be done. And then just a brown lip liner with some clear gloss. Put the mole on, put a little bit of highlighter, and that's the Queen Chama look if you ask me. It's a pretty simple look. I will link all of the products and everything you guys ask for in terms of what I do. They've always been the same. Barely anything has changed but my foundation. And I will set it with my One Size spray from Patrick Star. I will definitely do that in a second. I am working on a different setting combination that I got from the makeup artist that did my pageant makeup, because my makeup lasted all day. I'm talking 12 plus hours. So I'll test it and then let y'all know that. But other than that, that's all I wanted to do, was just, you know, kind of a updated candid talk. I know I usually don't do these. If you guys want more of these, just let me know. They're probably going to be on my vlog channel or my Patreon more than anything. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye y'all.
Chama. Yeah, I love to hear my name called. Black beauty cutie coming back just like an 8-ball. Philly plays, then I go to Jersey, I'm the cake boss. Barking with my dogs, running through y'all like I'm Saquon. Oh, you again? OMG, I'm getting pissed off. I've been past you, I lapped you, coming fast just like I sit soft. Nigerian girl, I'm somewhere hot, might go and get my wrist frost. I hate a hoe who like to tell she staying at the Ritz-Carlton. Yes, I'm a 10, I really am a 10. I'm throwing bows, I'm swinging R's, I hit that Carlton. Not going 50 cent with many men. I'm throwing shots from the key, they bouncing in the rim. Hey, you taking shots, you sour ass, the salt around the rim. Hey, I make it happen and impossible, now call me Kim. Hey, real life movie, I'm not playing like a sim. Hey, chubby cheeks, I'm golden brown, I'm at your chin. Skirt, Danica Patrick, green looking sharp just like a cactus. Moving forward, not going backwards. Chama party, I'll send the address. Bust on, but they dark like they some Ray-Bans. I can write, I can rap, I can sing. What more you gotta say, man? Oops, I made your block look like a wasteland. Heavy shit, the straw that broke the camel's back. They might say I'm a haystack. If you ain't rocking with me, boy, just say that. Runway on my body, this is real, baby, this is not a face tan. I heard them girlies crashing out, that's why I call them bandicoots. I'm a brown skin thing, I'm African, and that's right down to the nappy roots. I foresee hair and foresee big numbers at the polling booth. All white on, I'm standing out, I'm looking like a snaggletooth. Haters talking, it's so easy, I just block them you. I'm in the gym, squatting heavy, yeah, working on my glutes. 30 minutes, go write a song and go snap right at in the booth. At D Queen Chama on everything, go check my page and that's the proof. Like what? We ain't rap capping, still coming.